Last year, I was thinking about buying a software that connects to your Gmail and scanning all your emails and extracting all the invoices to a nice database with all the attachments and everything organized. This year, I was not even considering buying it. I was sitting down with Claude Code and we did it for like 90 minutes and it was done. Obviously, you know, not perfect for everybody else, but perfect for me. Exactly what I needed. Nothing I didn't need. It was done. And I'm not here to say probably that company is still making money today, but I would never pay for them anymore. I would never consider to buy this software anymore. And I think this is what happens to most of the software right now. And we're going to talk about this today. One prompt can take you very, very far. And when I say very, very far, I mean it. Like one prompt, the meter research is showing that one prompt can take you 7 hours of software engineer work. And this is already proven. You can check out the research yourself. And in a few months, it's going to be doubled. Less than a few months. Like this report was correct to yesterday, but as I'm filming it, 2 models came out that probably going to outperform the previous ones significantly. Okay, so less than a few months, maybe in a few weeks. It's going to be double, so it's going to be 14 hours. And everybody will have access to this. I mean, everybody. We are no longer going to pay for those apps anymore. Like, the apps will evolve into something else, I'm pretty sure about this. But what we have already, it's not going to last for a long time. Think about this invoice app. It was probably vibe coded. And it probably took a significant amount of time to vibe code it. But now, this time is probably divided by 7. Most likely. The market already knows this. They call it SaaSpocalypse. This week, $285 billion whipped out of Adobe, Microsoft, all the software, all the software stocks, In the past, researchers have shown that in 2017, for example, it will take you 18 months to copy features from another SaaS company. But in 2024, that amount reduced to 2.5 weeks. 98% collapse. And I bet that 2026 is going to be even more, even less, probably 1 week. I don't know. Your product has no longer have moat because anyone can reproduce it. And I'm not here to say that we can build Monday.com in 1 week or less, even though possibly, I'm not here to say that because they have so many use cases, they have such a big company and customer service and all this kind of stuff. But we don't need it. We just need the software for our own use case, the software that is working for us. We don't need it to work for everybody else. And we're definitely not going to pay for it anymore because we can communicate with our computer and just make it ourselves. Those giants, Salesforce, you name it, those giants are no longer moat. They are the starting point. What's really happening now is that you can talk to your computer in your own language, and the computer can talk with a computer in the computer language. You no longer need to know .py, .sh, .anything. The computer knows it. You just need to know English or your own native language, whatever it is, and you can communicate with your computer. And this thing I just said is obviously changing the ground for all of us. It's another layer in the OSI model. It's the 8th layer. It's above the application layer. And the mass public is going to use this layer mostly, native language layer. And I believe that the next computer not gonna have user interface anymore. The next computer is just gonna have some sort of chatbot, or maybe communication somehow, maybe it will transcribe us and reply or whatever. And call it whatever you like, Code, Codex, whatever you want to play around with, doesn't really matter, but this layer is gonna be the layer of interaction. Because human language is the best user interface. And that's your new computer. Like, think about this. Your mom will be able to talk with the computer in her language and ask for it to open a website, to help her pay the bills, to do research, whatever she do with her computer. I don't know, search online, open Netflix, I don't know. But she doesn't need to remember where are all the buttons and use the keyboard probably. Maybe the keyboard, yes, but maybe also transcribe herself. And the computer will be able to assist her with everything. The computer will be able to generate her applications from scratch for her own use case. This is what's going to happen. Like, if I'll put it in a better proposition, we can talk directly with the terminal. That's it. We can talk directly. It's gone. And the days of clicking the buttons, I'm not sure they are completely gone, because there's something about visuals that always going to be important, but they're halfway gone. Like, we're going to talk, we're going to write, and that's it. Everything is just going to work as much as it works for me now. Now, you could probably argue that if a company would like to develop their own software instead of using other SaaS companies, that they will need to hire a builder, and maybe the cost of the builder is going to be higher than just paying for the software. And that's a good argument. But I think this argument is talking about today's world. But the models are going to keep on improving endlessly, exponentially. And maybe in 1 or 2 years, you're not going to be needed a builder, because the guy that is working in HR and has no clue about code whatsoever will be able to talk with the computer in his language and create whatever he needs to create. He will be able to analyze the spreadsheets, connect to the APIs, even though he doesn't know what he's doing, but the computer knows what he's doing. So I think in a matter of a few months, this argument of the company will need a builder will not exist anymore. And think about, like, how important was it to learn C# 5 years ago, and now it's no longer important. Like, nobody needs to know it. And I'm not saying nobody needs to understand how it works. Yeah, that's yeah. But learning computer languages have become something we don't really need to do anymore, because the computer handled this part and will continue to handle this part very, very well. There will be some point when the models will be able to one-shot Monday.com, Salesforce. It will be able to one-shot it. Maybe not the entire website, not the entire use cases, but the core functionalities, definitely. So we're gonna live in a world where everybody creates their own apps and setting up their own cron tasks and working with a computer in their own native language. But now let's talk about the gap. What we're seeing right now is that we have a huge gap between the early adopters, us, people watching this video and understand what's going on, and most of society. And this gap is huge. It's maybe the biggest technical gap ever made I don't think I'm over exaggerating here. And it happens so fast. People who thought they know everything 2 weeks ago, they all, like, if they're not caught up, like, they already don't know everything that is going on now. And this gap is the issue we're facing right now, where you think like, okay, people still need software, people still need SaaS, but eventually the entire public is gonna caught up. Now, I'm not here to say don't make money from software. Like, nobody's gonna make money from software. No, I think you can. I think you can still do that. But I'm here to talk about how can we build software that will be sustainable for the future. That's an important question to ask nowadays, right? Because when the entire public is gonna cut up everything that is happening right now, it's gonna be the end of the current software companies. It's gonna be the end, because we don't need to vibe code the business. We don't need to serve millions of users. We need to serve one ourselves. Okay. What's gonna survive? Now, imagine if you were to take a person with today's capability, 2026 capabilities, and send them back in time for 2020. They're gonna crush it. They're gonna ship software in quality, in speed, like never before, and they're gonna crush it, I bet. They're gonna demolish all the other competitors, all the other companies. Like, AI raised the bar so high and so fast that it's hard to even get a hold of it. And if coding now, it's so easy and so accessible for everybody, how can you still build something meaningful? How can you protect your business, your software? How can you create a moat? And I think we have two options here, maybe more. But option number one is that complexity is gonna go significantly, like exponentially higher. And we will ship a more complex software faster with higher quality. And that's what's gonna differentiate you. I think it's logical, and that our software will know to do significantly more stuff. Option number two is that because of the application layer is going away from most of the public, and the application layer used to do the most amount of money, right? So now we have this new CLI, native language layer. I don't know how to call it. This is going to be the new application layer. When the models are going to improve, your product is going to improve. Meaning that if you're building a software that has UI is going to go away. People will be able to create their own UI. So your software is not about the UI anymore. Your software should be about the next layer, which is interaction between humans and machines. Your software should be language first, like language native first. You should ride that layer, that top layer. So in a sense, your software is going to become your valuable software you can ship, software you can actually sell for a long period of time. Is going to become an orchestration of agents, of LLM chains, of whatever, how you're going to call it, like plugins for LLMs, you can call it. Like, think about, for example, superpowers for Claude Code. This type of software is the next generation of software. And Satya, the founder of Microsoft, said it a few years ago and really made a big earthquake. And he said that SaaS is gone and everybody are going to create their own SaaS. And it took a few years, but this is what is definitely possible now. like only us are doing this right now, but soon the late bloomers will catch up. You bet. You bet they will. And I'm going to share with you my plan. I'm not seeing myself looking for new products anymore in the digital world. I'm just going to talk with my LLM, my large language model, and I'm just going to create whatever I need because it's super fast and very efficient for me. And that brings me back for my businesses to the real world, to the physical world, because over here in the physical world, we have so many issues that still needs to be solved. And we can use the power of LLM, the power of AI, we can use it to leverage and create more solutions in the physical world. We can actually do this. Like, look, for example, at robotics, right? $8.8 billion in funding just last quarter. Software index might be down 20%, but the hardware index is up 16%. And someone called it atoms before bytes. I think this is a great place to look into, because the money seems to be moving from bytes to atoms. And I would urge you, instead of shipping amazing software, even though I offered you 2 options, there's a 3rd option. Build beautiful stuff for the physical world. I think the days of clicking buttons are over. The days of paying for someone else for their software are pretty much done. And the real opportunities for builders, for entrepreneurs, for everyone is right here in the real world. I think Earth or the street is waiting for us to show up. Good luck.